Welcome to the National Women's Fitness Academy podcast. We're here to talk about women's health, female hormones, body image, and all things health and fitness.
Hello, girls, and welcome back to another episode of the Women's Fitness Academy's podcast. I'm your host, Siggy, one of the WFA's educators and a women's body image and fitness coach. Today's episode is going to be wild. I am joined by the lovely Maxi, who's your online bestie coach as part of the Fit by Ellie coaching team. So for those who don't know who Fit by Ellie, go on Instagram, check it out. And what they do with the team, they love everything to do with flexible dieting mindset, and they preach strong over skinny. And that's what I'm all about. That's what the Fitness Academy is all about, is preaching a certain feeling and not just looking a certain way. So Maxi, thank you so much for joining me, babe.
Hi, I'm so glad to be on this podcast. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining. It's going to be a wild one today. I reckon the girls are going to come out of today's episode going, whew, like all these like golden nuggets that we're going to be sharing with them. But before we start, let's talk about your journey. For those who don't know you, what got you started in fitness in general?
Well, I've always been really, really into the fitness. I just never loved it. It was always because I wanted to punish my body. And I was always like, because I ate that meal, I have to go to gym. So I was into it, but I was into it for the wrong reasons. I officially started like my lifestyle change, which is what I call my journey now, is I started that in lockdown 2020. And I was literally just at my wit's end. I was anxious. I was sad. I was depressed. I hated my reflection. I couldn't even get naked in front of my own partner without being embarrassed. Turn the lights off. Don't look at me. And I was honestly thinking, like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I cannot keep going this way. It is nearly summer and I love the beach. And if I'm going to keep doing this, there's no way I'm going to be attending the beach this year. And that for me was like, that's it, Maxi. Like, you need to stop. You need to outsource this. Who can help you? Who can figure this out? And like, how can we change this mindset? So that's like basically how I started into it. And like from there, like it's literally been a lifestyle change. Like I noticed even within the first week, I felt lighter, more energetic, more excited. And it was literally because I finally just took the step to focusing on like getting happier within myself. It was never really about the outside. It was like the inside. I wanted to heal the inside. By healing the inside, I then like healed my all outer areas as well. So like, yeah, that's how I kind of got into it. I was literally just at my wit's end, anxious, depressed, sad, in lockdown, literally felt like I had nothing to live for. And I just kept saying like, well, I can't, well, gyms are closed. Well, I just was like, you know what? I can. And I did it. And that's when I met Ellie and I hired her as a coach, and like the rest is history. Like I can't even recognize the girl in the photos that I took at my start of my coaching, because like I'm not her anymore. You can literally see in my photos that I took that I was so sad, depressed, anxious, just despised my reflection. Like I didn't even want to look in the camera. Like, so that's kind of like what made me make the plunge, and like it has been life-changing.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and especially around the anxiety side of things. It's a big thing that a lot of us women do encounter, whether it's within training or relationships or jobs, whatever it is, that this anxiety feeling literally holds us back from actually taking a step forward or, putting ourselves out there. And especially around the gym, as you mentioned, you were feeling so shit about yourself and you just didn't know what to do. But then one day you're like, all right, come on, Maxi, let's do this. Let's get our shit together and move forward. And you did. However, were there times where you were just like second guessing yourself?
I second guessed myself all the way. Like, even up to the point where like, because I'm also a hairdresser, like I would say to myself, I can't be healthy because I work on my feet and I don't have time to have food or drink water or go to the toilet. I can't do this because X, Y, Z. I work harder than that girl that's a hairdresser, so I can't do it. It's easier for her. It's not as easy for me. Like that's kind of like the mindset I had literally my whole life. I was always like, well, I've got it harder because I work harder in my other areas of life. And I just, because I work harder in those areas, I can't physically like myself. And I cannot dedicate time to go to the gym or do my steps because I'm just too busy. So absolutely, like I doubted myself the whole time. But the minute because we were in lockdown, yeah, like I have a business that's hair as well. So in lockdown, I had no income. I just had the government grant, whatever that is, the JobKeeper. I literally live off a good wage, and that was a massive pay cut. So when you like have enough money, you like live to your means, yeah. So I obviously having the massive pay cut, I could not afford a coach. And I was literally like, I cannot afford a coach, but I am so depressed. I can't afford a coach and I can't. But then I was like, well, wait on. Every day I walk my dog down to the coffee shop and I get a $5 coffee 7 times a week. So actually, I can afford I can afford a coach. I'm just choosing not to. And then I'm getting a burger twice a week and ordering cookies online, but I don't have enough money. It was just like all those limiting beliefs. They're so normal, but that's just, again, your body's way of saying like, no, stay where you are. Like it's too uncomfortable. Don't move. It's like your nervous system being like, no. It's talking you out of the thing, but just do the thing. And that's what I did. I was like, you know what? I can't really afford a coach right now. My business is closed. I feel so selfish. You know, I really shouldn't, but I just lent into it. And I just, every time those limiting beliefs come in, like, and I spoke to one of my clients this morning about it. When a limiting belief comes in, I go, yep, okay, I can hear what you're saying, but I'm going to go that way instead. And that's what I've always done the whole time that I started with my coach, Ellie, who's now obviously my boss, which is really awesome. That just goes to show like how insane it is to even just work with her, and then also work with her on a professional level as well. Like it's life-changing. But like whenever I have those feelings, you know, I would just tap into my coach's mindset. Like that's why one-on-one coaching is insane, because you literally have someone at the palm of your hands and you can tap into their mindset. Hey, I'm really doubting myself today. Help me. And they can give you the guidance that you need. So absolutely, limiting beliefs is something, even still right now, as someone that is confident and like is confident in herself and in the life that she's living, I still have limiting beliefs. So
yeah, it's so, you know what, I think our listeners are going to feel so much comfortable listening to this episode now, of realizing like, hey, we're humans as well. We go through our bad days too. However, because of us working in the industry or us investing in coaches and mentors, we have the tools right now to be able to confront our mindset and be like, hey bitch, like let's not go down that pathway right now. I'm going to choose the other way. And like you said at the start, you know, you used to tell yourself, oh, I don't have the money to hire a coach, but you were going to get coffee every day. You were getting takeaway. And this is a really good reflection that I do with my clients on a monthly basis, is going, cool, where is your money going? Like your spendings, you're saying to me right now that you're wanting, let's say, you know, to get meal prep food, but you don't have enough money, yet you're going out every weekend for breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks. That's already like what, over, I don't know, $300. Yeah, $300 of meals on just one separate day, where meal prep companies can probably give you a whole week's worth of food for like $150. So again, it's putting things into perspective and realizing, okay, well, whatever thoughts I'm having right now, are they actually facts? Like, are they truthful to what's happening right now? Most likely not. Most of the time, as you mentioned, Maxi, is the limiting beliefs. It's holding you back. It's trying to keep you safe because it's not wanting you to be put into the unknown, because being placed in the unknown or doing something challenging is fucking scary. And as human beings, that's what your brain is doing. Your brain is trying to protect you from, you know, going out there. It's the same like at the gym. You know, how often do you get anxious, or you got anxious when you started at the gym doing like a certain lift?
Exactly right. Like all the time. I mean, like even today, I got anxious being on this podcast, but I'm doing the thing. Like it's fine. And like every time you do the things that make you anxious, it makes you stronger. Yeah. And now I'm literally addicted to doing things that are so out of my comfort zone, because I was a girl who anything out of the comfort zone was a hell no. Even trying new food. Like my partner is like a foodie. We are both foodies, but I was always like, he would be eating all these really different food, and I'd be like, oh no, I don't like that, because comfort zone. But now if he eats something weird, I'd be like, oh no, I don't want anything. And he's like, no, you're gonna have a mouthful. And I'm like, oh, that is delicious. Like, it's just out of the comfort zone. So now, like, I'm literally obsessed with doing things that are out of my comfort zone. Like, once you kind of change your mindset and you're like, yeah, cool, it's scary, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And like telling your mind, like, your mind is a muscle. So how do we get stronger? We train. So how do we get our brains like stronger? We train it. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, I love that. It's so, so true. And I love the fact that you mentioned about food, because I used to be someone like that. I would literally stick to my usual foods. Oh my God, can't believe I'm even bringing this up, but I used to be obsessed with just chicken and rice, or tuna and rice. Oh my God. Fucking
Yuck.
tuna and rice. I know, right?
Yeah.
I know. Where now it's just like when someone has like a new cuisine or we'll go to a new restaurant, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I'm down to trying all these new things. It's an experience of it as well.
Definitely. I'm here for that completely.
I love that. It's so, so true. In terms of gym anxiety, what are some things that helped you overcome it?
I joined a gym. Well, I had been going to this gym for a long time, but I just started off with classes, a group classes kind of gym. It wasn't like my gym that I went to, and I still actually go to because I really enjoy it. They like are really focused on weights, and it's not fast paced. Like it could be like a 3-minute round of like lifting. So it's not fast paced. So you can't injure yourself or anything like that. So I started off with classes, and I slightly got comfortable. And then once I kind of was like, oh, I kind of want to really work out weights by myself, I hired a PT. I had a PT once a week, and I would just be like, hey, can you show me how to hip thrust? Hey, can you show me how to squat properly? And like every time I had a PT, I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting a bit comfortable now. I know how to set that up. So then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym today, and I'm going to try when I do my PT by myself. And then that slowly became really comfortable. And it was like, okay, hey, I don't feel like I need that PT now because I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to start training 3 times a week by myself and take them back on the classes. And like, I just got comfortable in that way. It's just small steps. Like no one is confident in the gym straight away. My boyfriend is a bodybuilder, has been in the gym like since he was 15 and competed and everything like that. And like recently we went to Bali, and there's like a big gym there. And he said to me in the morning, oh, I feel a bit anxious going to this new gym today. And I was like, pardon? I didn't think that would happen to him because he's so confident. He's been a bodybuilder for literally like the longest time ever. And he still gets those gym anxieties. And like, it's normal. It's completely normal. Everyone gets it. Even I get it. That the morning I went to the gym, because I usually go to my gym. I have 2 gyms. I go one in the morning, and that's like 5 minutes around the corner. And then I have another gym that's 10 minutes away, and that's like my weekend gym. And the other morning I went to my weekend gym on my weekday at 6 a.m. and it was completely different people. And I felt those flutters and a bit of anxiousness when I first entered the gym. And I'm like, hey, what am I doing? I know what I'm doing here. I belong here. What am I doing? And so like, even me who is confident in the gym, confident with my lifts, confident in a lot of areas, still have those feelings of anxiousness in the gym. But you just like, it's okay to feel that way, but just keep going.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like, us doing a heavier lift, like on the squats or deadlifts, like going for PB, you are going to have those feelings, and they're completely normal as well.
Yeah.
And that's something that people need to start normalizing as well. It's okay for you to feel anxious, but you want to tap into have a better understanding, like, why is this anxiety coming up right now? And too often when I speak to my clients, they're so anxious about stepping into the gym because they feel as if they're going to be judged by other people. And I remember once walking into a gym with a client and literally stood there for about 2-3 minutes. And I just got her to just have a look and notice what people are doing. And literally no one was staring at her. No one gave a flying fuck about what she was doing. They were literally there doing their own thing. And once you have that mentality, or once you have that understanding going, cool, everyone is here for their own benefit. They're not here to please one another or pick up people. Well, I know some people actually do go to the gym and fucking pick up. I can't I can't say they don't.
Some people definitely do. That's
Oh
for
yes.
sure.
Yeah. We've encountered those type of people, but on the other side of things, it's like having a better understanding and being comfortable going, cool, well, I'm here to benefit myself and so is everyone else. No one's actually staring at me at what I'm doing.
And you know what? Like if they are staring, that actually says more about them than does you.
Exactly.
Like that's what I always think. Like I definitely have encountered social anxiety, and even more so since like lockdowns and everything like that. And getting to the gym is so scary because it is like a bit of social anxiety, which is why I liked doing classes when I first started, because it kind of helped teach you that like actually everyone's there for their own reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, like social anxiety is a killer because like it's your brain saying like they're looking at you, they're judging you, but like if you actually just like look around, they're not. Like there's been many times where like I don't know if you've seen, but on my social media I literally always am open about like that I don't wear underwear in my leggings. And so many people were like, oh my God, I can't believe you don't wear. And anyway, everyone has been like, okay, Maxi, I tried it. Wow, it's a game changer. I'm like, literally, guys, why do we have to wear underwear? Why? But like, there's been many times where like I have literally been like, oh, I've got a camel toe. Let me just pick that. And I'll look around and no one's even looking. And so like, it's always like a humbled moment. I'll be like, I'll just do something a bit silly. And I'll be like, oh, no one saw that. I mean, I wish they saw that because it would have been funny, but yeah, it's funny how you can like change your mindset around it. Because like if you do something like, yeah, just acknowledge the environment and like no one's looking at you. And if they are, they're going to quickly look back. Like, trust me.
So true. I love that we've opened this conversation about not wearing underwear underneath our leggings. Yeah. So let's continue this conversation because I think this is a really big thing for women who don't feel comfortable doing so, but then when they do, they're like, oh, it's like a complete different experience. So yeah, like run me by this. Like, when did you start doing this and how is it right now compared to wearing fucking underwear?
I don't think I've ever worn underwear in my leggings, like forever. Like, I don't know why, but it's just what I do. I'm not sure. How it started is I think it's more comfortable. Like leggings are so tight and literally you just get a wedgie. And then I also hate, like I'm so OCD with my outfits. Like I hate underwear lines. And no matter what you do and how far you ride them, that straps up, you can see them. Like you can see them. And like that would infuriate me. Like I literally look at myself working out and being like, I need to go to the toilet because I can see my underwear line. And it wasn't because like, oh my God, people are judging me. It was physically for me. I'm like, oh, I hate that. So I don't know, like it's so much more comfortable. And why do we have to wear underwear? Because we're already wearing pants, which cover your everything. Like we don't have anything to keep in. And I don't know, I've always never worn underwear to bed. Like that's one of the big things. Like when I first met my partner, he'd be like, are you not wearing underwear? And I'm like, no, what do you mean? And he was like, what the hell? Like he'd never encountered that before, but like it needs to breathe.
100%.
And like, I just don't see the point. Like when you're wearing leggings and it's already tight, like I don't understand. Like obviously sometimes in leggings, like you can really see your front burger. But like, I also don't give a shit. Because guys, we can see their bulks in their trackies. So why can't we? And like I feel like a lot of it just comes back to like what we've been taught. Yeah. Like I mean, my mum always wore underwear and she's like, I can't believe you don't wear underwear. So I didn't get it from my mum, but I just feel like why should we have to? Because society's told us that we have to wear underwear. Like and same as bras. I never wear bras either because are you ashamed of seeing my nipples? That's on you. Yeah. Like I literally like even at work, like I am constantly wearing white tops and like no bras. Yeah, my headlights turn on occasionally. That's fine. But if someone like says to me, oh, like you can see, I'm like, and what? So yeah, I don't know. I think that you need to try the whole underwear, no underwear and your leggings, and like let me know how you go, because like it's game changer. Like it is a game changer. I have like a little hack in my Instagram highlights. It's actually camel logo emoji. So there's like a thing you can do, like a pad, a panty liner and stuff like that as well. Like if you want to wear like bright colored leggings and not see your camel. But honestly, no underwear all the way. I'm here for it.
I love that we're having this conversation right now because I'm a big fan of not wearing underwear when training. And sometimes when I do, I find it so bizarre and foreign. And especially around bras. Like, I'm a big believer of just letting the girls fucking go out, go nuts, especially during training. Like, trainers, I will wear a sports bra, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wear sports bras, but I mean they're not really sporty bras. They're definitely like for fashion. Like Crop Shop Boutique like have amazing crop tops, and like they're definitely like not supportive. They definitely make them look good. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just literally what I've always been, and I'm such a big advocate. And a lot of girls are like, I can't believe that you don't wear underwear. But I'm like, please tomorrow, go and try it and let me know. And like they always come back and they're like, I'm never wearing underwear again.
I love that. It's so good. You know what? You might as well explore before judging and going, oh my God, she doesn't wear underwear. It's just like, give it a try before you actually judge someone on it, especially when girls don't wear bras. I find that there's a lot of like negative talk around there. Oh my God, you're not wearing a bra, especially around men. I don't know what it is with men and women not wearing bras, but they just get so fucking lit up about it.
Yeah, it's gross. Like, we can do what we want. Do we tell you to like get away with your like grey tracky pants and your bulge?
Literally.
Sorry, can you tuck it? Can you tuck it away? Because that's it's really annoying us. So no, I'm not for that at all. Like my partner, he doesn't care at all. He just wants me to feel good in whatever I wear. But yeah, occasionally we have had a couple of these guy friends be like, Maxi, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, are you what's your problem?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you want me to do about it? You also made a point about going to sleep with no underwear. I've been doing it for so many years. I don't know exactly the science behind it, but like as we mentioned, we do know that it's more comfortable going to bed underwear free. And to be honest, like you said before, like it's just giving, your vagina time to breathe. If she's constantly suffocating with underwear, with pants, with whatever you're wearing throughout the day, which kind of helps to just relieve it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the no underwear to bed was definitely something my mum said to me like a long time ago. And I definitely think there is something around that, like the science and like letting it breathe. But I mean, it's so much more comfortable.
Okay, while we're on the topic of no underwear, what happens with that time of the month?
Well, I just wear black leggings in that time of the month.
Yeah.
And I just literally use a tampon or a cup, usually a cup.
Yeah.
And I still wear no underwear.
Yeah, cool.
Like I just like you've got the protection already.
Yeah.
So like what is gonna happen? Like you just, again, I feel like that just comes down to like something that we're probably being taught from a very young age. You must wear pads and you must wear underwear and you must like, it's really taboo. Like no one talks about it, like protect yourself. But like also it's normal. Just put a tampon in, use a cup. A Diva cup, by the way, is the best. It's life changing. And like, who cares? I just wear darker colors in those times just in case. But like I've never had a slip up.
Yeah, I love that. It's so funny because I remember the first time I was training with a cup, I was just like, "Ooh, what's going to happen? Is it going to come out of me?"
No, I don't know how it works. It's like literally suctions. It's life changing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Cups. Whoever doesn't have a cup, I tell you, I would definitely invest in one. They're so beneficial, and to be honest, I much prefer them than tampons.
Well, but not only that, it's like going into like what kind of chemicals are in those tampons. Yeah.
Well, yes, exactly.
Sticking up your vagina. Like,
yeah,
I am, again, in this journey, I've really taken back on like what I'm doing and trying to like relieve as many chemicals that I'm putting in my body. Like I'm not on the pill, I'm not on any of that kind of stuff. And like, well, tampons, like after I was doing some research into like kind of figuring out what the hell are in all these chemicals, they contain like nasties.
Yeah.
And then you're putting that in you, which can affect your hormones and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, I don't know, like Diva cups are awesome, but they're even more awesome because there's no chemicals in it.
Yeah, 100%. While we're talking of chemicals, I don't think I've actually asked this a hairdresser before, but like chemicals around hair products and like coloring and stuff, like how do you navigate around that?
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And it's just something like a lot of the brands these days are very chemical wary.
Yeah.
Like, so they are very conscious and they are changing the way they are putting things in the product. So every day they're changing. So it's definitely adapting. But I mean, I used to get such bad migraines, and I seriously believe it's from being around all the chemicals.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. I mean, it's completely safe, but yeah, ingesting that every day, it's obviously a hard task. But we do just stock products and color lines that are more natural and are less chemically. But again, it's hard. At the end of the day, we're working with science, so
Yeah.
we have to have the science.
It's so true, and like confronting as well, like for those who are not hairdressers, but I'm sure majority of the girls who listen here either dye their hair or they tone it or they get it treated. Those, you're ingesting chemicals whether you're realizing it or not. So while we're on the topic of chemicals, we need to be wary of, what is your hairdresser using? Like, I think it's a really cool conversation to open with your hairdresser and be like, hey, like I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful about the toxic load that I'm putting in my body. Is this friendly? Do you have more friendly products?
It's actually like even further than that though. Like the chemicals that you might find in a salon are fabulous. It's actually everything else. The soap that you use for your dishwasher, the soap that you use to wash your body, your toothpaste, the chemicals that are in those are actually far more dangerous than probably what the salon's using.
Yeah.
So like, because I've done a lot of research into like supermarket shampoos especially, and like there is some chemicals that contain like cancer making cells.
Wow.
So and like they're still for sale. So unless you don't know, you don't know. But like even like baby powder,
Yes.
baby powder like causes major problems and has been taken off the product shelves in a lot of places, and they're so dangerous. So it goes far more deeper than that. But it's when you start, it'd be like making a cyclone, because then you start to be like, oh my god, there's everything. So I would just say like just don't overthink it too much, because then it gets overwhelming, and then the next minute you think that like everything has chemicals in it and everything's unsafe. All I can say is like supermarket products are just being really mindful of like what the ingredients are, especially like in skincare, hair care, all that kind of stuff. And that would be the first changes I would be making, would be going to get your your shampoo from a salon.
100%. It's so true. Like we don't realize the chemicals that we're around, like not just obviously at a hairdresser, but like everything else that we're using. And I'm very wary of the products I'm using these days, whether it's natural, more organic base, or even like make your own type of cleaning products. Like it's so easy to do that these days, instead of buying the stuff on the shelf that it's not going to serve you any good.
But there's also like so many brands now that like stock stuff. Like I use Co at my house. Because my dog actually has like a liver problem. He was born with like a liver deformation. So we have to really be mindful in our house of the chemicals that we use, because his liver can't handle it. So there's actually so many great brands out there now that aren't found in supermarkets that stock for like your household. So it's actually so much more easier than it was a couple of years ago, because you would have to make everything. But now there's so many brands. I highly recommend Co.
I like Co. And what's the other one? I can't actually think of the name. Oh my God, there's like a couple of brands, but like even detergents for your clothes. Like being more wary of what you're using, and especially what you're washing your bed sheets in. Like you're sleeping in that, or you're wearing your clothes every day. A good one is like what you're washing your underwear in. For those who are wearing underwear, if you're using chemicals constantly, guess what? That's gonna bloody rub off on your vulva, rub off on your skin. It's it's not handy whatsoever. So
No.
yeah, it goes back to our conversation about using cups or using something more natural aside from the tampons where, you know, it is delivering toxic load onto your body.
Yeah, just be mindful.
100%. While we're on the topic of that, a really good website for you girls to go to is ewg.org, which you can actually find different organizations that actually help you find a less toxic or non-toxic products. So it's called Environmental Working Group. It is international based, but you can literally find anything from like skin products to like makeup to tap water. I'm pretty sure like tap water is a huge one right now.
Yeah. And literally we drink that.
Yeah, tap water is huge, man. Like we should not be drinking that.
No.
Yeah, it's you know, again, like it's another thing for us to like look at and going, cool, like how can we make it a little bit better for our bodies? Yeah. I love how we went on a tangent around this.
I know. How did we get to this place? But I love it.
So good, from like wearing no underwear at the gym to anxiety to menstrual cups to toxic load. Yeah, you know what? This is the beauty about having these conversations. It's just like opening your mind, going, hey, it's not just about training and nutrition, it's like a whole lifestyle change.
It is completely.
I love it. It's so, so handy. Talking about lifestyle change, in terms of flexible eating, like what's your mindset around that?
Well, it's funny. The other day I was actually speaking to one of my clients, my hair clients, and she was saying like, oh, I want to do X, Y, Z. I hate my body. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, but I just hate eating healthy. It's so gross. And I was like, oh, well, whatever I told you, I've changed my life completely. And I literally enjoy LCM bars on the daily. And she was like, you don't look like you eat LCM bars. And like that right there is like why I'm so passionate about it, because there is no good or bad food. It's just food.
Yeah, there's
Like
context to everything.
there is context to everything, and that's what flexible eating is. Like I can enjoy some ice cream at dinner, after dinner, or at dinner, up to you.
Hey,
I can enjoy some ice cream.
yeah, let's have ice cream for breakfast if we want.
And you know what? You can. Like that was one of the biggest things for me. Like I have done flexible eating like on and off for 5 years, but I've never really stuck to it because I just kind of was like, oh, I don't know. But this time round, it is life changing because every single day I'm eating foods that I love while I'm still hitting all my macros. So like micronutrients is really important, and a lot of people don't know about it. Like hitting your fiber, all that kind of stuff is so important. I'm still hitting all of those while eating all the food that I love. And it's just, that's been the most easiest thing, because this doesn't feel like a quote unquote diet, because it's not. Like you can actually eat any food that you want. And like, that's what I love about being a coach, because when I start girls, the first thing they're like is, whoa, there's so much food. How? And I'm like, yeah, well, this is how. And like educating them on like, well, actually, cool, you're at maintenance now. Let's say like you're eating 2,100 calories. You're at maintenance now and you think, oh my God, that's way too much food. But I can guarantee you, you've probably been eating over that on weekends and even during the week.
Yeah.
But you don't know it because it's more calorie dense food and for less. Like, for example, I was very much stuck in the mindset of like, you know, I was overweight, but all I eat is 1 meal a day. And that 1 meal a day was a KFC Zinger burger box with large chips and extra small chips and some popcorn chicken. Like, but I'm only eating 1 meal a day and I don't understand how I am so overweight. Well, that 1 meal is literally more than probably what I eat now in a build. So like, it's just like knowledge is power. And like, there is so many people don't understand. And especially like, I remember when I started like this whole thing with flexible eating, I don't know, 5 years ago. And I remember explaining to my mom, like, just to let you know, like, it looks like I'm not eating to my plan because the foods I'm eating is enjoyable, but it is actually, I'm allowed to eat this. And like, I remember sitting down with her and explaining that with one of my old coaches, like this is 5 years ago. And like, we all sat down because, you know, I was a bit like younger and I was living at home. And we were explaining to my mom, like how flexible eating works and how it actually is achievable to eat good, yummy food instead of having to have tuna and salad to lose weight. And like, she was mind blown, but now it's so cool because now, like 5 years on, she literally understands what it takes to be a flexible eater. And like, she understands what a macro is, and like that I can enjoy a hash brown and bacon and eggs for breakfast and still be on track. I mean, there definitely was probably like a big limiting, like, oh, is she doing this right? But I have proved to everybody that you can actually eat enjoyable things and then still look fucking insane. Like even right now, like this is my first time doing a build, and like, honestly, my body's thriving off all this extra food. And like, a lot of people get really scared because obviously going to a build and you're eating more, and it's normal to gain a bit of weight. It's normal, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, my body is looking insane. My muscles are looking fuller. I'm energetic. I'm stronger. I'm this. And I think back and I'm like, holy shit, how did I survive eating like 1,200 calories, 1,400 calories when I thought that was how you dieted? And I can tell you right now, I've never eaten that amount while with Ellie. And that's not what we preach, because we need our bodies as a whole being. It has hormones and hormone function, and like, we need certain things for our bodies to function correctly. And like, we do that. And like, that is insane, because how I feel now eating all this food, and even when I am in a deficit, I still feel fucking great. I don't feel brain fog, and I don't feel lethargic and I'm gonna faint. Like, I feel energetic and happy, and that's how it should be, because starving yourself from like good foods that you like, and then the calories that you really should be having, like, that is just debilitating and boring. And no wonder we jump off that and binge eat after. That's what happened to me. I would always be like, I'm going to commit to this thing, and it would last 4 weeks, and I would binge, and then I would actually put on more weight than I lost because I was so restricted. And that's what flexible eating is. I do not feel one inkling of me on the weekends to go, oh my God, I can't wait to eat all this food, because I'm actually well fed. And I love my food to the point where, like, sometimes actually the weekend just gone, my partner's like, Maxi, let's go out, let's get some burgers. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do that. And actually, I was like, actually, no, I don't want to do that. I want to have my own meal plan, because I actually love it. I don't feel the need to go off my meal plan, even though I could track it in. And that's what we're all about. We're all about the 80-20 and tracking in burgers out. I physically did not want it. And that's what it is. That's why flexible eating is like powerful. It's life-changing. But educating yourself on the processes of flexible eating is hard to get your head around, right? It comes down to like childhood trauma. For literally your entire life, like, I'm 28 in November. For 28 years of my life, I have been embedded that salad and tuna or salad and chicken is how you lose weight.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to remove all that thought process and then be like, well, no, this is not how it is. And that's what I find with a lot of people. Like, you know, you're taught to eat your whole plate from a young age. You're not leaving the dinner table until you eat all your food. So then naturally, when you go out for dinner and you're so full, you eat the whole plate, because that's naturally what you've been taught. So just literally unlearning all the things that you've learned and then changing it.
Unlearning old behaviors takes a lot of fucking work.
It does not take 8 weeks. Yeah.
No. Yes.
It takes a long time, a long time, longer than 8 weeks, longer than 12 weeks. And like, it will still continue to keep coming up, but it's not going to be a quick fix.
Yeah.
Nothing in this lifestyle is a quick fix. And I think that's the hardest thing for people to grasp, because it's 2022. If I want a burger delivered to my door, all I have to do is like snap my fingers and it's there. It takes a little bit to be made, but it comes in a second. If I want to see what my friends are up to on social media, one click, I can see. So like, we're so used to getting everything that we want so quickly, but fitness, strength, losing weight, and like body composition takes time.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things that like people always ask me, oh, well, how long did it take for XYZ? Well, I'm 2 years in and I'm still going. I'm still achieving. It wasn't how long it's going to take. It's just like, enjoy the process. Stop putting a time limit on things. Stop thinking about it as a time limit, and just enjoy the process of it.
So true. So fucking true. It's too, yeah, wow. I'm actually speechless because my mind is like, I fucking agree with everything that you've literally said. And I can totally resonate with that because for so many years, I thought tuna and rice were going to be the fix to my problem for me to lose weight, or, that old narrative of, us wanting to build muscle, but we're wanting to lose weight. It's just like, well, it doesn't work.
Well, you can't have it both. Yeah. And that's the
Exactly.
biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that I find, like on my onboarding like notes, is like, I want to lose weight, but I want to build this. I'm like, well, you have to choose. You either lose weight or you build, because if you're going to do a build, you're going to have to go into a build phase, which you're going to eat more than what you're actually burning. Or you want to lose weight and then we'll go into a deficit, which is where you're eating less than what you're burning. So you can't have it both. Yes, you can slowly achieve muscle growth by being in maintenance and deficits, but it's going to take a hell of a lot longer.
Hell yeah.
And that's what we have to be clear on. Like, the reason why, like, I'm 2 years in and this is my first build and I'm so ready for it and I'm so educated around it. But at the same time, it was more just because I'm at maintenance for most of the year this year because I didn't feel the need to be in a deficit. I liked where I was sitting, but I was more like, okay, I want to get out of my comfort zone. Let's do a build. I still want to look athletic and I still want to do all the things, but I just want to get stronger. So that's where my head was at. But a lot of people, they want to be toned, and like, there's actually no such thing as toned. Like, being toned is just where you get to a lean enough point that you can see your muscle definition.
Yeah.
Like, there's no such thing as tone. I think that's the biggest thing that we need to educate, because like back in the day, especially when I was in high school, it was like 10 tips to get a toned body. Like, no, it's just literally like a lot of like cut to maintenance phases, deficits to maintenance, and then slowly you're just chipping away at that body fat. Like, it's not going to be an easy process, and that's the most important thing for people to understand. And like, stop putting a time limit on it and just like trust the process. And if you're not seeing, like, my body reacts very slowly. Like, I remember when I first started with my coach, like, we had like a group chat, and like there was a couple of girls that started off at the same time as I did, and like, I don't know, we were like week 5 and they were like, oh my god, I've lost 10 kilos, and I lost like 2. And like, that's fine, but like, everyone's body's different, and like, understanding that, like, that's why I could never have done a challenge, because I know that if I was inside of a challenge space, I would be like, why is everyone losing 10 kilos and I'm only losing 2? And like, just know that it might have taken me 2 years, but it could take you 3 years. It could take you 5 years. And literally, there's like no cookie cutter time frame. And like, there's just a whole lot of like different phases. You're going to go in and out of maintenance. You're going to go to a deficit. Yeah, you're going to be hungry in a deficit. So then you're going to go back up to maintenance after your deficit, because like, you can't be in a deficit for ages. And one of the biggest things that I find is like, a lot of the girls that I take on are like eating in a deficit for like years.
Yes.
So, and I'm like, oh my God. And I explain to them, like, the stress that's causing on their hormones is like so bad. No wonder you're moody, you're irritable, your periods are painful, your periods are like long or very, very short or non-existent. Like, no wonder you literally have no appetite. Your body's like calling out for help. So, and then they always are like, oh, I'm going to go to maintenance, I'm a bit scared. And it's like, well, it's actually not a scary part. It's not pressing pause on your goals. It's literally setting you up for the best ride back down to a deficit. It's like hitting reset on all your hormones. It's like, yep, cool, reset, and let's go again. Because literally, like, eating in a deficit for a long period of time, like, isn't where it's at. And that's what like being a coach is all about. And like, kind of just literally teaching them to unlearn everything they've ever known.
Literally unlearning all those behaviors and all those, ideas that they got from their parents. It's something that takes, as you mentioned, it's something that takes longer than 8 weeks. And this is what I tell my clients constantly when they come out of a dieting phase. It's just like, cool, we're going to go to maintenance, and you're going to maintain it for longer than 3, even 6 months. And some of them are like, what? I'm not going to diet for that long. And I'm like, yeah, your body needs to stay in this position for a really long time. I remember having this chat with my girls in a group call going, I haven't dieted in 3 years. 3 fucking years, and their jaws just dropped. And I'm like, you need to give your body time to adapt to lifestyle, to enjoying life, than constantly worrying about what you're looking like to constantly diet. Because as you mentioned, Maxi, like that stress of dieting is causing so many issues for our hormones, for our mental, for any other aspects of our lifestyle. So if we're constantly dieting, it's putting a lot of fucking stress on our bodies, where from us not even realizing it.
And it's also actually delaying the results.
100%.
Because your body can't lose weight because it's in fight or flight.
Yeah.
Your body literally can't focus on what you want it to do because it's literally making sure that your organs are working properly because they're underfed. They're exhausted. So they're like, oh, okay, let me focus on pumping blood to the heart instead of you losing weight. Because like that's important, that's more important. And like that is what is the most important thing. And that's what I'm so passionate about teaching, is like that it is so important.
It sure is. And you know what? I believe that diets shouldn't last longer than like 10, 12 weeks.
I agree.
10 weeks max, to be honest. And like for our listeners right now, if you've been dieting for like 12 weeks, 6 months, 2 years, 4 years.
Time to go back to maintenance, baby.
Yeah, it's like it's time to reassess. Like, is it actually serving you a purpose, or are you actually digging yourself into a fucking hole?
And you know what? Like dieting actually won't fix the relationship that you have with yourself. And if you think that dieting is going to make you love yourself, it's not.
Yeah.
It's actually like it comes from within. Like, a diet doesn't fix your mentality to the way you feel. Being a size smaller in your clothes will not validate your happiness.
Yeah.
It will just be like, oh, well, I'm a size 10 now. I want to be an 8. And then you get to an 8, I want to be a 6, because you're not actually fixing the real reason. I remember when I first started with Ellie as a coach, I was like so scared, and I had a lot of these issues. Like I thought that to diet you had to starve yourself. I thought that you had to do all the things that were not the things to do. And I completely lent into the process of trusting Ellie, and I never said to her like, why am I eating this much? I just was like, you know what? She knows what she's doing. I'm going to let her. But I was that damaged that like she couldn't even tell me how many calories I was eating, because I know I would have self-sabotaged myself. So she literally hid. And this has been a process. Like I have a couple that I have taken away when I'm feeding them, but I'm healing that. I'm working on it with them. I'm educating them on that. I haven't just taken it away and been like, okay, well, they can't see, good luck. It's literally like, okay, after the thing, did you know you were actually eating this? Yeah. Did you know you lost 1 kilo? Did you know that you actually lost 3 centimeters all around your whole body, but you were eating in maintenance? And they're like, oh, like, cool. So I'm literally like, I haven't just taken away what they're eating from their mind, but they can't see it. I'm literally educating them on the thing, which is exactly what Ellie did for me. Like, yes, she took away what I was eating and the amount I was eating, because she knew that I physically wouldn't have been able to hold myself to that state. And I probably would have self-sabotaged and ate under that by taking out certain things in the meal plan. So she did that for me. And like, that's what we do. We are very conscious. Like a lot of us have come from eating disordered eating lifestyles. Like Ellie, she actually came from an eating disorder. She hasn't spoken too much on this, and like her OG girls would know. But like some people like honestly have said to me, you know, I relate to you, Maxi, because of your journey, and I don't like XYZ because, you know, they were naturally gifted. And I'm like, oh, if only you knew that we have all of us in Fit by Ali have come from a hard place. We weren't just gifted this body. We worked through it. We've had to work through our mindsets. We have to work through so many challenges, so many internal and external challenges. And we're not lucky. None of us are. We've all worked a really hard point. And like, that's the game changer. I think, yeah.
It is a huge game changer once people understand where you're coming from. And again, like people are too easy to point the finger and be like, oh, you're lucky because you have a really good physique. It's just like, no, it's taking me years to get to where I'm at right now, whether you realize this or not. But again, people just see an instant photo of you and they're like, oh, she's fit, she's lucky, but they don't see the whole story. It's just like scroll back on my Instagram and see where my journey started. You will be so surprised. Like sometimes I throw myself back and I'll go through those pictures and I'm like, wow, like how far you've come along this way, you know, from constantly trying to diet for not having that worthiness within yourself to now you're eating like almost 3,000 calories and you're wanting more.
Yeah, I think that is literally like the game changer. Like the fact that like I'm eating so much food and I'm like, ooh, it's exciting. How can I drive it up again?
Yeah.
Let's do it again. And like it literally is exciting. And it's like my body has never felt better than it does now. And like hindsight is a beautiful thing. I wish that I had started this so long ago, but the reason why I am where I am now is for this reason now, so I can change people's lives. And I know a few years ago I wouldn't have been in the position to be able to take the leap and be a coach. So I'm a big believer in like everything happens for a reason. Fuck, I wish that my life had changed when I was younger, but hindsight is a beautiful thing, and that's what I'm so excited to teach so many people, that like you don't have to live a life of restriction and you can enjoy all the things and you can learn to love yourself. But if you don't fix your mindset, you cannot fix your body. And I am such a big believer in like doing the diet and doing all the things for the outer body is great, but like if you actually don't fix the inside and like all your thought patterns, you're just going to fall back into that old state in a few months. And like I love mindset coaching, and like if you can't afford mindset coach, there's so many podcasts out there for like mindset. There's like so many little mastermind courses you can do which are so affordable. And like I literally am addicted to investing in mindset. And still right now, like just before this podcast, I was listening to my a masterclass I have attended in like alignment and like getting out of the comfort zones and just being in your aligned life. And like that is so good. Like, and if you do mindset work and the physical work, and like you are on your way to being a completely new person. And just know that in this process, you're going to lose some people. Because you're going to outgrow some people, and some people are going to hold on to that old version of you because that's all they know. And then once you start to move into that new being, they're going to be like, oh, she's trying to be someone she's not. Oh, she's trying to be an influencer or XYZ. Who knows what they're saying? Just blur it, because you're actually allowed to move and adapt. I can tell you right now, at 28, I am not the same person I was at 27. And I'm definitely not the same person I was at 25. I am a new person and I'm constantly evolving. I envision a person that I want to be, and I am her, and I'm on my way to being even more in alignment to that. And like, that is what's important. Like, know that in this process, you're going to intimidate a lot of people, and that intimidation is going to come with them being a bit nasty and, you know, projecting themselves onto you and being like, oh, you're just trying to be someone you're not. And that's completely okay. But just know that that is just their coping mechanism for you growing, and you're allowed to outgrow people.
Yeah, it's so true. It's something that hasn't been spoken enough about when you're outgrowing people, especially when you're going through this journey of alignment and involvement of yourself. Because to, like, you know, credit for you for mentioning right now around mindset, because it's a big thing that many people neglect. Again, it goes back to them being comfortable with what they've been doing. But then again, if it's not serving a purpose for your goals or for the life that you're wanting to live, you're going to have to make some changes. And that comes down to the people you're hanging around with. If they're not fucking serving you a purpose, why are you around them? If they're not elevating you up, if they're not lifting you, if they're not supporting you and going, hey, you can fucking do this. Yes, I support you by stopping dieting or going to the gym and training, then you need fucking new people in your world. And I know this sounds like too easy. Well, we know it's not, especially when we grow older. It gets to be fucking hard by finding people who align with you. But guess what? The beauty of fucking social media, the amount of friends I've made on social media has been phenomenal. And a few of them I haven't met yet, but the relationships that I have with them online, especially women who are there to support you and lift you and be like, hey, you can fucking do this. Those are the people you want in your life. And like you said, Maxi, so many people are going to project their own shit on you. You know what? Sometimes I project my own shit on other people. It's human. Like that is the experience of us being humans. However, by doing the mindset work, you realize that you are projecting your own shit, but then you need to ask yourself, cool, like, why am I not happy about this? And do the integration, do the work to be able to be a better person.
Yeah, a perfect example, right? Like I was at the gym a couple of weeks ago and there was this girl and I don't know why, there's just something about her that I get so intimidated. And being around her, being next to her on the leg press, I'm like, oh, I feel so intimidated. And then I came home and I said to my partner, like, oh, do you know this person at the gym? I don't know why, I feel really uneasy, like, and I'm not sure why. And he was like, oh yeah, I feel the same. And then we both sat in that and we're like, imagine if she's just really shy and do you think that maybe she's just really confident and like she's putting out that energy, but she's actually not, she's actually a really beautiful person. And we both like sat in that and we're like, we're literally like projecting what we think, like, oh, she's like a meanie, like she kind of is a bit scary, like she's probably judging us, but what if she's actually not? And it's really cool when you do the mindset work because you can be like, well, actually, like that is us projecting that onto them. Actually, she intimidates me because she's so fucking strong. She's so fit. She's tiny and she's so strong, stronger than me. And I'm thinking, oh, she's scary and intimidating. She's a bit nasty, but no, help. That's me. I'm projecting that. And like, we literally sat on that together and we're like, well, how funny. Cause she's actually really lovely. We should say hi next time.
I love how we realize like sometimes that we're projecting and making these analyses on other people who we have never met in our lives.
Literally. I have not spoken a single word. In fact, we haven't even looked eyes. Like we're literally like one end to the other end of the gym. Like it's, and like, I don't know why, but I'm going to make a conscious effort to find out more.
Yeah. I love that.
Because like girls supporting girls. And like, I have come from a very wounded sisterhood area. So like, I was severely bullied in high school. I was severely bullied in primary school. I was pretty badly bullied at my first salon I worked at, my second salon I worked at as well. And it literally comes down to I'm very strong with my beliefs, with my ethics, everything. And like the reason I can only put it to the reason I was bullied was because it's the intimidation, and that's fine. But like, that has wounded me, and I for the longest time hated women.
Yeah.
I didn't want any women friends, and I didn't have a time of day for women because I genuinely thought women had it out for me. Women hated me. They wanted to see me fail. And the hardest thing is hairdressing is like that. There is so many people, and like that almost like made my wounded sisterhood worse. Because there's so many girls in hairdressing that are like, oh, I love your work. I hate her. She's ruined your hair. Like to their clients. And like, it's so hard and debilitating. But working through that has been like life-changing. And like my fitness account has truly showed me that women are amazing. And making relationships with other women is like life-changing. And that has then literally changed the way I think about everything. I'm now friends with so many salon owners, like literally friends with them, like not just friends and hate you behind your back, like friends, ask for advice, talk about personal things together. And like that has literally come from the fitness industry because it's the only thing I've ever encountered where people actually really want to see you do fucking well.
Yeah.
Like having my fitness account for a long time, it was on private and I only had like 100 followers and I was like, delete every person that tried to add me. But as soon as I was like, you know what, I feel like my journey can really help other people. That is where like I really learned that like there is so many women out there wanting to see you succeed and to be inspired by you. And like having that account like really came to light that how many people were inspired and how many people were grateful and how many people just were proud of me. And like that is something I've never encountered before. I've never had people be proud of my success. I've never had people like not shame me when I say I'm so proud of myself. Because usually when you'd say like, I'm so proud of myself, I'm this, I love my body, they'd be like, oh, you're vain, you're up yourself. But I've never yet encountered that. But I also, if I have encountered it, I've probably shrugged it off because I don't care.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, like just working on those wounded sisterhood things is like also really life-changing, which the first time I really started to fix that was when I was in like a group container for mindset in a group environment with other girls talking about like life struggles. That was the first time I was able to be like, oh, okay, actually there is actually quite a lot of women here wanting to, you know, see you succeed. And the next time I obviously with Ellie, we have like a group, we had like a huge group chat with all her girls she was coaching. And it was just such a vibe, like everyone in there hyping each other up, like telling them they look hot, doing a good job. It was just like the community that I have built on my platform is literally like life-changing. Like from being someone who can openly say that I had like literally no fucking friends. My partner was my best friend. He was all I had, and my dog. And like now, like, well, it makes me like even emotional to even say it, but like now I feel so, I have so many fucking great connections. And like I have put myself in a circle of people I want to be around and who all build me up. I always say like your friends might sit around the table and talk about one another. My friends sit around the table and talk about our goals and how we're going to fucking achieve them. Like it's all about the circle. If you're around people that like are constantly bitching about other people and like making fun of them, like fuck that, leave that table and find a new one and come sit at mine.
It's so true because, you know, from a young age, and I'm really glad that you opened that conversation around bullying because I was bullied when I was younger as well. So having that sister wound is a really big fucking thing for me. And again, I'm sure this is something that you're constantly working on. Again, it's something that we've been experiencing our whole lives. So it's not going to just pass by, but whenever we encounter positive interactions with women, it just shows us that there is good people out there. You can open up, you can be vulnerable. And again, like with the mindset work, there will be times that your brain's gonna test you and be like putting on those blocks and those limiting beliefs. But like with coaching, and that's what I do with my clients, it's making them realize, is this actually true? Is this factual? Or is this just an old belief that you keep telling yourself? And if it is, how can we break it down? What do we need to do to unpack it? And then once we do the work around that, then they realize, oh, it's actually not truthful. It's because of X, Y, and Z. This is what I can do to overcome it. And I'm glad that you brought up about surrounding yourself with women talking about goals and ambitions, because the group of girls, I'm not a fucking girl, I'm a woman. The group of women that I'm surrounded with, we literally talk about everything and anything, but not about people.
Yeah, I don't want to be at that table.
Nah, man, fuck gossip. I'm done with that shit. I probably did it when I was like a teenager, but that was for the wrong reasons. I was, you know, around people who obviously didn't value me, and unfortunately, I didn't value myself. So the tendency of me wanting to be around those people. But to finish with today's conversation, it's like surrounding yourself with people who constantly talking about others. They're talking about you.
Yeah. Exactly right. And that's like the biggest thing, like being a part of the Fit by Ellie crew. I think there's 16, don't quote me, 16 or 17 girls that literally want to see you fucking succeed at the highest level. And that is insane. Like there is no cattiness, there's no bitchiness. There is no, oh, like I want to do better than you. It is literally like the most empowering group of females just wanting to do the best for one another and the best for our clients. And like that is life-changing. Even just being a part of this, like I remember when obviously I was in the process of working with Ellie for quite a while, and I remember her saying like, this is going to be the best thing for you and your sisterhood like growing, because this family that I have made is life-changing. And like now I'm in it, holy shit, it is insane. Like, no wonder like everyone is like a magnet to Fit by Ali, because the community, the girls that like the coaches, Ali, it's magnetic, and that's where I want to be at. And that's why I I could have been a coach for myself. I could have opened my own business. I didn't fucking want to. I don't ever want to, because I am a part of a group that is literally like the best, the best. And like, that is what is empowering to me. And like, yeah, I could go out and do it on my own, but that wasn't what it was. I wanted to be amongst it all and have the most amazing mentor. But not only that, 16 other girls, or 17, how many of a big the team is now, we can all reflect and throw ideas at. That's what it's about.
I love that. It just shows you that being surrounded by the right amount of people, it's going to bring out the real good shit in you as well.
Absolutely. It sets your soul like literally on fire, and it is life changing.
Yeah, fucking 100%. I totally agree with that. Maxi, thank you so much for joining me today. Today's conversation, I swear, we literally took it off with talking about training, gym anxiety, menstrual cups, no underwear, to now fucking life-changing sister wounds and, you know, following your passion. Like, oh my God, crazy.
I love that. I'm here for it. That's what my life is. It goes on all these different tangents, and I'm so here for it.
Same. I love it. Before we head off, babe, where can our followers find you?
I am Maxi with 3 eyes _fit on Instagram. And obviously, if you go on to Fit by Ali's account, you'll see me on there as well.
Love it. Well, girls, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I sure fucking did. And I'm sure you girls will as well. So if you did, please make sure that you screenshot it, tag us at the Women's Fitness Academy, tag myself, tag Maxi. And then till next time, surround yourself by women who are going to lift you up.
Bye.